The UK's state pension triple lock, which guarantees the state pension goes up by the highest of inflation, wage growth or 2.5%, is turning out to be a lot pricier than expected. My name is Jack Reeves and welcome back to this week's episode of Tax Tidbits, where it's now anticipated that by 2030 the triple lock will cost triple what it was originally planned, hitting £15.5 billion per year. This is due to the unexpected inflation and wage volatility and the fact that in 8 of the last 13 years, the triple lock has triggered more generous increases than inflation or wages alone would have justified. The government's sticking with it, saying pensioners deserve dignity and security, though critics warn that all this generosity is making the country's finances look a bit wobbly. The OBR has basically said this is not sustainable, pointing out that pensions are eating up a growing chunk of the economy and it's only getting worse. Some experts are calling for a rethink of the triple lock system, but pensioners say it's still needed, especially since our state pension isn't exactly champagne and caviar compared to the rest of Europe. The digital bank Monzo has been slapped with a £21 million fine after it approved bank accounts to people using clearly fake or implausible addresses like 10 Downing Street, Buckingham Palace, and awkwardly, Monzo's own HQ. Turns out their address checks were about as effective as a chocolate teapot. The FCA found the digital bank's anti-financial crime systems were seriously lacking, especially during its rapid growth spurt, when their number of customers jumped from 600,000 to nearly 6 million. That meant some pretty shady people slipped through the cracks using PO boxes, fake UK addresses, or just straight up landmarks. The bank's CEO insists that the issues are now in the past and improvements have been made. Still, it's a reminder that not everything online is as secure as it seems, especially if someone can open an account from Buckingham Palace without even owning a crown. We've spoken before about how the UK is facing a corporate exodus from the London Stock Exchange, with over 200 companies ditching it since 2016. Well, the Confederation of British Industries says it's officially panic o'clock. The chair says it's time to get serious, less red tape, better marketing, and maybe giving investors a gentle shove away from hoarding cash in ISAs. His take is that cash ISAs are the worst investment God ever invented. There's £300 billion sitting in savings accounts doing nothing but collecting dust and losing value to inflation, and the government is looking at it with hungry eyes, while considering nudging Brits towards investing in UK companies instead. If nothing changes, the UK could lose not just its stock listings, but the tax money that keeps the lights on in hospitals, schools, and well, everything else. UK borrowing costs have fallen after a rather dramatic week where Chancellor Rachel Reeves got teary in Parliament, and the markets nearly did too. Investors briefly freaked out over fears she might quit after the government U-turned on welfare cuts, leaving a £5 billion hole in the budget. This caused bond yields to spike and the pound to have a bit of a wobble. But after the PM reassured everyone that he and Reeves were in lockstep, markets exhaled and 10-year bond yields dropped. Additionally, while the pound didn't exactly bounce back with enthusiasm, it stopped sliding. Analysts say the markets actually like Reeves, fearing that if she leaves, fiscal discipline might vanish with her. For individuals and businesses, this bond drama matters because it influences mortgage rates, so fewer tears at the Treasury could mean less crying at the bank. Thousands of small businesses across the UK are getting hit with outrageously expensive phone rental contracts that feel more like a financial trap than a helpful service. Many sign up to lengthy leases with telecom companies only to find out later that the costs are way higher than expected. some contracts amounting to tens of thousands of pounds over several years for just a handful of phones and basic software. For example, one graphic designer ended up paying over £54,000 to rent just 5 phones and basic software for 10 years, saying it's ruining his life and leaving him unable to pay himself. These contracts often come with confusing terms, hidden fees, and tricky finance deals that leave business owners stuck paying huge bills they didn't fully understand at the start. So if you're looking at a new phone system for your business, make sure to do your research and due diligence. And that's it for this week's episode of Tax Tidbits. If you found today's episode helpful, don't forget to like this video, share it, and of course, subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.